Welcome to Logos and Life. Do you sometimes experience a racing heart, shallow breathing, muscle tension, or an upset stomach when faced with a tedious situation? Or perhaps you feel a deep sense of unease and dread without being able to pinpoint exactly why? Do you often see your mind jump to the absolute worst-case scenario, even if it's highly unlikely? For example, thinking a minor headache is a terminal illness. That is anxiety. Anxiety can interfere with your ability to work, sleep, or maintain relationships. It often leads to avoidance. You might start skipping social events or certain tasks just to avoid the feeling of being anxious.
When anxiety hits, it triggers the sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight response. It reflects an overactivation of the brain's threat detection system, even in situations that are not objectively dangerous. This process alters the brain's key neurotransmitters that help regulate your mood and emotions. To counter this, you need to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which governs rest and digest. There are several suggestions on how to counter anxiety, including the physiological sigh, the 5-4-3-2-1 grounding technique, box breathing or square breathing, and temperature shock, also known as the cold water hack. For many, these tools don't help because for most, anxiety is beyond a physiological response, it is a constant companion. If you want to prevent anxiety from taking over, you must deal with worry. Worry can evolve into clinical anxiety through a process called rumination, where thoughts become sticky, uncontrollable, and start to affect your physical health. While the terms are often used interchangeably, psychologists distinguish between the two based on where they happen, how long they last, and their impact. Worry happens in your head, anxiety happens in your whole body. Worry is specific and concrete, anxiety is vague and generalized, a sense of doom. Worry can be temporary and resolve when the issue is over, anxiety is persistent and can last for months or years. Worry is a cognitive process, a repetitive loop of mental chatter about a potential problem. While anxiety can ravage the body quickly, worry is like a slow-eating cancer, spreading until it takes over.
God, in His all-knowing capacity, deals with this root problem because prevention is better than cure. Here are 5 Bible verses to help you deal with worry. Do not just read them, but internalize them as you would medicine prescribed by a physician. Matthew 6 verses 25 to 34, therefore, I tell you, do not worry about your life. Can any one of you by worrying add a single hour to your life? In the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus points to nature, birds and lilies, to show that if God provides for even the smallest parts of creation, He will certainly care for you. The passage concludes with practical advice: do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. It encourages focusing on daily bread rather than future what-ifs. Philippians 4 verses 6 to 7, do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. This doesn't just say, stop worrying, it gives you a replacement action. It suggests that when a worry enters your mind, you immediately shape it into a prayer. The promise is a peace that transcends all understanding, to guard your heart, meaning you'll feel calm even when the situation hasn't changed yet. 1 Peter 5 verse 7, cast all your cares on Him because He cares for you. The Greek word for cast used here means to throw or hurl, like throwing a heavy garment off your shoulders. It acknowledges that worry is a heavy weight and suggests that the way to handle it is to literally toss it over to God, trusting that His shoulders are big enough to carry it. Isaiah 41 verse 10, so do not fear, for I am with you, do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you, I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. This is a powerful verse for when you feel dismayed, that feeling of being overwhelmed or losing heart. It reminds you that you aren't handling this situation with your own strength alone, but that you are being upheld. Psalm 94 verse 19, among all my troubled thoughts, your comforts are the delight of my soul. This is a very human verse. It admits that anxiety can become overwhelming, but points to the idea that God's presence and His promises act as a soothing balm to a racing mind.
Remember, if you actively handle worry, anxiety will be far from you.
If you found this helpful, subscribe and stay tuned for more content on Logos and Life.